Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a level 20 spell sword blink bonded dog subclass mod in Baldur's Gate 3. So this is a mod that was made by Gawesome here, and we're going to be focusing on the blink bonded dog version subclass here. What's really cool is you get the ability to summon in a blink dog which you can teleport to. Now with this we also get the ability to add our spellcasting modifier and place a dexterity when calculating armor class with a spell forged armor. However, with the light armor we can actually add half our spellcasting modifier to it and our dexterity, so that can actually give us a pretty high armor class. We also have the weapon bond here, which gives the thrown ability, so we can throw weapons. And we get the throw bonded weapon ability here, and we get weapon bond, which enhances a weapon and gives it extra capabilities. We're a half caster, and we also can use charisma bonus when determining intimidation checks, or you use intimidation, you use intelligence instead of charisma. And then you also have the eldritch inspiration. You use arcane fervor to generate eldritch point reductions, and strategic use of this mechanic will extend your inspiration use significantly. So I'll break down all of this means in this video. Now for cantrips, it doesn't have Mistress Spells compatibility, but we're just going to go with the Shocking Grasp, Ray of Frost, and Bone Chills. These give the best benefits, although Firebolt can be nice to explode things if you're into Barrelmancy. We also got for learned spells, we'll go with Shield to increase armor class by 5, and we're going to go with Thunderwave for the pushback. Alternatively, you can add the Thunderous Smite. This does use your bonus action, however, but either one of these, it can be pretty nice. This does push back targets 3 meters away and knocks them prone, whereas this one pushes away creatures a little bit further. So I would recommend going with the Thunderwave spell personally. Now for our ability scores, I think it's best to go 16 dexterity because we can actually add this on top of our intelligence modifier to our armor class. We go with light armor. In Constitution going 14, the intelligence going 16, and then 10 wisdom, 10 charisma. Now I'll be going over a full build guide for this, as well as showing off armor. I'm just using an armor set here just for the aesthetic purposes, but I'll be showing you base game armor and weapons that we'll be using, and then I'll show off some combat. At level 2, we get the close cantrips. When active, it enhances your non-melee cantrips when they're cast within 5 feet of you, ignores disadvantage for close range cantrips, and you leave behind a volatile sigil on hit, significantly increasing the spell damage potential. And we get the Arcane Strike, so enhance a bonded weapon by channeling a damaging cantrip into you. On its next hit, the normal cantrip damage and effects will be added to the weapon damage. You must be holding the bonded weapon to perform this action. And for our fighting style, we can go with like a defense to give a +1 armor class. Defense is always going to be one of the best fighting styles. You can go with like great weapon fighting if you want to use two-handed weapons, or if you want to use a shield, you can go with the dueling to add 2 damage to it. But a +1 armor class is always going to be great for survivability's sake. At level 3, we get to choose our subclass. We're going to go with the Blink Bonded, which will give us the Blink Dog Pack Tactic. So creature has advantage on attack rolls against targets if one of its allies within 3 meters of the target and isn't incapacitated. Let's get the Blink Dog. Blink. Teleport 30 feet away and gain a +1 bonus to your attack roll. And makes the target distracted. When an ally is within 10 feet is attacked, you may grant them a +5 to armor class and impose disadvantage on the attack by teleporting to the spot adjacent to their attacker. And we also get the Fey Magic, which gives us a bunch of different spells here that are focused on mostly like Fey Magic. Speak with Animals, Hail of Thorns, Spike Growth, you'll see them all. So we get Speak with Animals and Hail of Thorns range weapon here at this level, and also the melee version of it. So, and we also get another choice in spells here. So, Long Strider for the increased movement speed. Never a bad idea to have more movement speed, so that's what we're going to roll with there. And at level 4, we get ourselves another choice in cantrip, so we'll take our Firebolt there, and we get to choose another spell. So Wrathful Smite can be pretty nice to frighten targets if you really want to go with something like that. Armor of Agathis or Burning Hands can also be somewhat useful. And Searing Smite can set up damage on a target that you just want to continually damage. Now for our ability score, we're going to go with an increase to our intelligence here, so we're going to take that up to 18. And at level 5, we get ourselves the Sigil Stalker. You learn the Eldritch Mark spell and always have it prepared. You can cast for 3 times today. This increases you gain spell sword levels. You also get Bound Weapon Enhancement. And magically enhance a bonded weapon with the Light, Finesse, or Thrown properties. Only one property can be applied at a time. Very effective, so you can use Dexterity for rolls and attacks. And the Eldritch Mark. So this will deal additional 1d8 of force damage in a 10-foot radius, or half that on a Constitution save. And with this, it can consume a spell slot if you use that. So you also get a free cast version of it. And we get the subclass features: inflict gaping wounds whenever you do a bite dog or blink dog bite. Marked prey. Your attacks will trigger the Eldritch Mark effects on enemies marked by spell sword. On a successful attack, you may use your bite attack as a bonus action for the next 2 turns. And we also get the Bond of the Pact. So this adds proficiency bonus to armor class and damage rolls. And as a bonus action, you may consume an Eldritch point and convert them into magic points for your Blink Dog as long as it's within 60 meters. And at this point, we get level 2 spells, with some of the best ones for this being hold person, because free crits, who doesn't love that? Free critical hits, very effective. At level 6, we get the martial magic, so you can make a standard attack and cast a cantrip within taking your action. This is not stacked with any other source of extra attack. So attacking and a cantrip, that's a pretty good power spike at level 6. And at level 7, we get the class feature, the Blade Dash, so throw your bonded weapon and teleport to it immediately. After confirmation of hit, you get the effects of Blur for 2 turns. And then we also get ourselves another choice in spell. Minor Illusion's great to start combat, and Mage Hand can be nice to throw potions. And then at next level here, we got Scorching Ray and Cloud of Daggers being 2 really nice ones, as well as Mirror Image, which give you a +9 to your armor class. And Misty Step, we already got a teleportation, but it's not a bad idea to always have an extra teleport as a backup, especially bonus action ones like Misty Step. At next level, we will take ourselves either Mirror Image or Scorching Ray at this point. And we'll go with an increase to either Dexterity or Intelligence, which will increase our armor class and survivability. Once we get to level 9, we get ourselves Plant Growth, very powerful spell, underrated, and Conjure Barrage, which does your weapon damage plus 2d8 slashing. And from this, we also get level 3 spells. So Haste is a really nice spell to take, but I personally prefer having Haste come from a sorcerer. We also get Lightning Bolt, which I think is a really good spell because this hits in a straight line and we can actually hit a lot of targets with this that we might not be able to hit with other spells. Counter spell is also really good, and Fear, because this can make the enemies drop their weapons. So that's another good option if you'd like. At level 10, we get the subclass feature Arcane Bite. When you imbue your weapon with an Arcane Strike cantrip, your Blink Dog's attack is also enhanced with it. Huge. And we'll go with our next leveled spell. We could go with like Acid Splash or Poison Spray there. A little extra damage on our weapon. And at level 11, we get the class feature Arcane Flourish. So, using a weapon action, then infuse your bonded weapon with a fiery blue font of magic, granting the channeled throw. This ability adds last number of turns equal to 1 plus your character's proficiency bonus. And we get to choose another spell here. Again, Counterspell and Fear are 2 really high up on there. I do like Haste a lot, but it's just a little bit less valuable compared to some of the other spells here. And Counterspell is just always a good thing to have for survivability's sake. Once we make it to level 12, we get the subclass feature Bonded Swap. Teleport and swap positions with your Spellsword companion. If you're both threatening the same enemy, it becomes off balance. If that enemy is also flat-footed, they become overwhelmed, making the next hit an automatic critical hit. Huge. And we get to choose another spell here, so even Glyph of Warding can be a really nice spell. I like Fear just because being able to make enemies drop their weapons is huge. And we'll go with an increase to our intelligence to take that up to 20. And once we get to ourselves a level 13 here, we get Dominate Beast and Stone Skin. And we also get to choose another level spell here, level 4 this time, with Ice Storm being really great for the crowd control that it brings because it creates ice surfaces on the ground. At level 14, we get the class feature Spellsword Adept, and you have advantage on attacks against targets marked with the Eldritch Mark. Arcane Strike attacks now apply Volatile Sigil when close cantrips is active. And Ethereal Pirouette's teleport range increases to 20 feet. It's just a nice across-the-board power spike there. And once we make it to level 15, we get the subclass feature Share Spells. Any beneficial Spellsword spell that you cast on yourself can also be applied to your Blink Dog, as long as it's within 30 feet, which I'll show you is actually kind of cool. And then we get to choose another spell here. Everett's Black Tentacles can be pretty nice, making difficult terrain and smothering creatures within it. We can also go with the Wall of Fire, which is also a form of crowd control because that's just fire damage straight up in a wall. People will run through and take damage. And it can guide the AI into some weird ways. At level 16, we may as well max out our dexterity here to get that nice easy 20 for better armor class and initiative rolls. At level 17, we get the Conjure Volley Melee, which does weapon damage plus 88 slashing. Throw a melee weapon into the air and choose a point within range. Hundreds of duplicates of the weapon fall within a volley from above and then disappear, dealing 8 to 64 damage to all creatures. If active, Arcane Strike applies to all targets. Huge damage. And Contagion, which can be nice because you can cast this outside of combat and actually have its effects apply. At level 17, we get ourselves the Cone of Cold spell and Hold Monster. These are some of my favorites. Banishing Smite's also a really nice one that you can go with, but Cone of Cold is just super useful for a variety of reasons. At level 18, we get the Overwhelming Eldritch Strike. When active, and this enhances your Arcane Strike when you imbue a weapon with the cantrip. After striking your enemy, your enhanced weapon will now deliver the cantrip effects until the end of the next turn. So, again, huge power spikes here. At level 19, we get ourselves another choice in feat. We can take the +5 initiative if you'd like that. We'd also go with like the Savage Attacker, which will reroll your melee damage die and give yourself a little bit extra more damage. Spell Sniper to give yourself Eldritch Blast and increase our critical hit chance can also work great. There's also like the Dual Wielder feat if we want to go with 2 weapons. So we got a few different options. Great Weapon Master if we wanted to go with a 2-handed weapon. And we could also go with, you go Tavern Brawler because we're going to be throwing weapons pretty often. So I actually think a going Tavern Brawler might be the way to go, so we'll go with that there. But again, there's Savage Attacker, there's Spell Sniper, depending on how or what you find you're using most with this subclass. At level 20, we get the class feature SPELLSWORD Mastery. You gain 5 Eldritch Points after a short rest. When Arcane Fervor is at max stacks, after applying its Eldritch Point discount to an inspiration, you may continue to take advantage of that discount until the end of your next rest. And then we get the Legendary Bond. Whenever you cast a spell of level 3 or higher, your Blink Dog's pack magic points are fully restored as long as it's within 60 feet of you. So our dog gets a huge power spike there. So yeah, it becomes really strong at that point. And you can see we got ourselves quite a number of spells here. So I'll show off our armor here now. So we can actually get a pretty crazy armor class wearing light armor because of the ability to add dexterity and our intelligence modifier to the armor class. We could even get this up to 29 if we took this a little higher. But we're going with the Mask Soul of Perception for better attack rolls. However, you can also go with something like the Hood of the Weave if you want to have a greater hit chance with your spells. And the Helmet of Arcane Acuity is a great Act 1 item because this will give you Arcane Acuity stacks whenever you attack with your melee weapon, which will increase your spell save DC. We also go with the Cloak Protection. If you got the Deathstalker Mantle, that works great as well. The Ballast Armor, which is late game armor, but early on in the game, it's really about the best choices that you got. Like if you got something like the Graceful Cloth or the Cat Cloth, you can go with those until you get something better. Even the Roma Supreme Defense can be pretty good. Typically, medium armor is going to be good too, so if you can get something like the Adamantine Scale Mail here, that can be a decently effective option early game. Gemini Gloves lets you do double cantrips, but the Helldusk Gloves will give you better spell save DC and fire damage on your attacks, which can be pretty nice. The Evasive Shoes for better armor class, but you can also go with like the Boots of Stormy Clamor if you'd like. And if you got the Illithid ability, you can apply that on every attack. Our Ability Drain from the Illithid ability, which will apply Boots of Stormy Clamor's 2 stacks of Reverberation. Going with the critical hit ring here with Killer Sweetheart and Ring of Protection, Amulet of Greater Health, but you can also swap that off. This just gives us 223 health. And we also got the Hellrider Longbow, giving us better initiative rolls. Early game weapon, Fowler Alluve is a great weapon, so you can go with that for the melody that it brings. Now, if you're later on in the game, if you go Evil Road, Shard Spear of the Evening works very well because this can create darkness, which you can hide out in. And you also got like Nirolna, which is a throwing weapon that will return, but you could go that route if you like. And then we also got ourselves some other options like the Knife of the Undermountain King. I'm using a shield here, but even the Infernal Rapier can be nice because this gives you the planar ally. So those are a few different weapons that you could roll with. I'm just going to go with the shield here, the Viconia's Walking Fortress, giving us 28 armor class, which is pretty crazy. And that does come from that additional 2 armor class that we get from our intelligence modifier, as long as you use the Spell Forge armor. So you do have to use that before it applies. So we're going to roll with something like this. Now we got ourselves the Magic Bond here, so we can apply this to our weapon with the main hand. So we're going to apply this so that we can throw our weapon and have it return to us. Then you got that throw bonded weapon, and then the bond weapon enhancement, so you can apply light to it if you'd like. So I guess that's all that we got since it's already a throwing weapon. And then with this, we also got our summon Blink Dog. So this is the main point of this class. So it's got 140 health here, and its name is Canis Bigus Digus. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Now this is a good boy. Looks like Scratch but bigger, and it also got the blink. You can teleport around. It does disarming bite and also has its normal piercing bite, which will apply gaping wounds. So he's the goodest boy. Now we'll show off what this ends up looking like in combat. So a little pre-combat prep here. We can also just go with our mirror image here. So this will give us a huge number to our armor class. So then when we look at it, we got 39. We're pretty hard to hit at this point. This is also +2 from haste. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. So we also get the Ethereal Pirouette here. Teleport 50 meters in any direction. Enemies within 5 feet of you fail a dexterity save or flat-footed. And when unlocked, this ability is unique to you to equal amount of 1 plus your proficiency bonus. So we get that 5 times. Now, getting into a fight here, I'll just show off what this is all about, and then we'll start off with a fight. So I always like to start with some form of crowd control. So may it be this time Ice Storm, just to create ice surfaces here so that they all slip around and fall. And then we'll just get right into things here to show it off. So this is great for crowd control because the enemies will slip around and fall on it. So that's typically what we want to have happen. Now we got our ability to throw our weapons. We can go with that there, or we can go with an infusement of our cantrips. So we got some pretty damaging cantrips here that we can go with. I'm just gonna go first off with I think Lightning bolt could hit a good number of targets. That's 5 targets hitting. We'll just go with the lightning bolt to start things off, and we got counterspelled. Never mind. That took them out, so that worked. But yeah, we also got ourselves, I guess, a weapon attack, so I'll just go with this here, and that just took them out. And then we got the ability to do martial magic, so we can apply a cantrip on an attack here. So see who is the weakest of them all. That's a spellcaster, so target them. That took them out. Perfect. And then we could also just use our ethereal pirouette if we wanted to teleport away using the bonus action, or the Eldritch Mark free cast. And with the Eldritch Mark, we'll deal additional damage to the target. So we're going to apply this to this target here, who's going to be our next target to go after. And the blink tactics are now active, so we're going to move away so that we don't get our dog hit as much. You do want to have a bit of a spread because they're going to use volley. Anytime that you know the enemy knows volley, I would recommend using a bit of a spread so that you don't get hit multiple times, because they're just going to continue to try and hit that. And they land a critical hit. That's weird because they critically blocked it, but that's fine. Then we got our blink dog, so it can go in and disarm a target or just go and attack it. Hopefully we won't knock it over with the with the ice there. And saved, and it blocked the attack, unfortunately. Then you also got the blink, so you can teleport away, and we'll just teleport the dog over to here. So that's that. Now, yeah, see there, we can knock them prone often with that. That's typically what we want to do, is have our crowd control set up and then use our dog around it, and then empower our attacks with the cantrips and go in and attack with that. We're getting really lucky here. We also have an ability with this weapon. If you're rolling with this weapon, we can create darkness, so this is just going to be good for your survivability as well. So I'd recommend that as probably one of the best weapons in the game, especially for some build like this. Especially if we're using the ballistic armor, this is piercing damage, so it's even better for that. Now, I don't know why we're holding our weapon like this, but it's pretty funny, so I thought I'd show it off. But yeah, we also got the imbue weapon, which we can use to apply bone chill to our weapon, or ray of frost. And this uses our eldritch points, so we'll apply ray of frost to this, or bone chill to this. Then now our weapon's imbued with that. And then when we go in and attack, we'll apply the effects of it. So I'm gonna go in here and protect our dog with this darkness. So that took them out. It also did the bone chill damage on top of that. It was pretty strong. And then we'll just use a bow attack to hit this target here, and that applied fairy fire. I guess the fire from my weapon did remove that, but that's okay. So we had that free cantrip after our weapon attack there, so we can go with something like the ray of frost again to hopefully refreeze this area. And booyah, it did. If you got mind blast, this can be a really big asset, so I'd recommend if you got the Lithid abilities, this can make you really strong, so I recommend that. Now we're just going to hide out in the darkness because they're going to have a hard time with us. They're going to attack our dog here. That's unfortunate, but yeah, with this, the darkness will give us a place to hide from. See, they're attacking the pot there, trying to attack our doggy with that funny name. And then now our dog can go ahead and teleport to the targets. Unfortunately, it's in darkness right now, so that did hurt its ability to teleport, but we can go right here and get right into the fray of things. So we'll just go with our gaping wounds attack, and we'll attack them. That actually did a lot, and also did the bone chill on our target, so that was sweet. So 31 damage from necrotic from that cantrip, huge. So that's what's cool about this. You apply your cantrip to your dog bites, which makes them pretty strong. And we're hiding in the darkness, so they're having a hard time with us. They'll probably just go after the dog. Actually, no, they won't. I regret to inform you guys that our dog just got shoved right off the ledge there. So unfortunately, we're all out of that until we short rest and get 5 eldritch points. So sad end. Sad end. That's all I can say. So we don't have, I guess we don't have the ability to apply additional damage to our attack there. We can reapply the eldritch target though, so we can go ahead with that and apply it to this target here. So then we have the eldritch mark on them, and we can go ahead with an attack, or we can spell cast. So even spell cast can be really effective if you're able to line up some attacks like this, which is perfect because then the eldritch mark now teleported to that target. So then we can go ahead with a ranged weapon attack. This will hopefully do a good amount of damage on them, and booyah, it did. And then we finish off with a ray of frost, which will hopefully take them out. Booyah. And that was vengeance for my dog. but the blink bonded dog subclass of the spell sword. Really fun. I like dogs and I like summons, so this is a perfect match. Being able to apply the magical damage to your weapon, and then on top of that, get all the extra effects and damage from it, makes this pretty crazy of a class. Very fun and unique. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Shouts out to Gawesome for making this great class mod. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all in the next video.